So, welcome back to the 9th and 10th chapter. Today we'll be looking at how you can process a book, a new book obviously. So we have 6 steps to go through in order for a book to be considered fully processed. And after that we can borrow out the book to students and teachers alike. So the first step is that we have to chop the books so that we know that this book belongs to the library. And after that we have to label the book so that we know what category, what type of book this is. So it could be a novel, it could be comics, it could be reference books and so on. And after that we have to manually record this book and its data inside a book so that we have a manual copy of this book. And after that we have to wrap the book in wrapping papers so that the book is protected, and we have to catalog the book. Catalog the book means all of the book at the back of the book, the last page where this is the skin of the book, we will have like a pocket with a note on it. That is what we call catalog, which you would learn in physical classes or activities. So it's really hard to show you right now. It's just something that you have to do physically, the same as everything else over here. And lastly, F, the automacy, means that we have to record this inside our computer so that we have 2 copies, one digital and one physical. And that's the end for chapter 9. Out of this you will have to remember and memorize for the exam. So moving on to chapter 10, we have the actual chops that you use to label the books and to mark the books so that this book belongs to the library. Well, as you can see, the first chop we call chop hak milik perpustakaan. This is the general chop that we use. And as you can see over here, there is an example. Right here, it's long and there is 4 lines. So we use this chop in magazines, in newspapers, in comic and fiction books, and of course everything else. We will chop the book. We would use this chop in the first 3 pages of the book, excluding the skin. We do not chop on the skin of the book. We chop it on the paper, the actual content of the book. And we will do it at the back and on the 21st page. So there is 3 sections you have to do it. The front 3, the back 3, the 21st page. And of course you will learn this in physical activities. You will learn this when you are in the library as a trainee. We will teach you how to do it, and it's easier for you to memorize that way. So for now you just have to know what type of chop this is, what it's for, how it's used. And you have to remember that this chop is in blue. We use it in blue color. And for B, the same thing also applies. We are using this in blue. So for this chop, we are only using it in reference books, not fiction, not novels, not magazine, not newspaper, only in reference books. Reference books are the books that you use to study for your exams. And we would chop this at the first page and the last page of the book. And as you can see, there are boxes that you can fill in. So the first 2 boxes, nombor perolehan and nombor panggilan, are sort of like codes, unique codes for the book, so that we can look back at the data of this book in either the manual record or like the digital record of the book. And lastly, we have harga. Harga means the price. So we have to write down the price of the book and the 2 unique codes for the book. And as you can see over there at the side, we are not allowed to use pen. We are using pencil. That is because we can avoid any mistakes that we write. So you don't harm the book actually. You can just wipe it off with your eraser. So if you look at C, we have chop rujukan sahaja. As you can see, this is in red. So we are only using this in reference books as well. So reference book again are the books that you use to study. And we will chop this on the same pages as we use for chop besar, the one that you have to write prices for. So at the first page of the book and at the last page of the book, it goes like this. So here's a summary of the chops that you use. The big chop, we will put one at the first page and the last page, same as the red chop, the first page and the last page. And for the long one, we will put 3 on the first 3 pages of the book and the last 3 pages of the book and page 21. You might be wondering, why 21? Why specifically 21? And that's because it's just sort of like the middle. Usually it's the middle of the newspaper and for short books. So the 21st page is usually like the middle, and we have to chop at the middle. And sometimes the 21st page is sort of like the last 3 pages. Then it's fine, you don't need 2 chops, you just need 1 chop because it's considered as the last 3 pages, then you can just chop on it. But if it's on, for example, on like the last 4, on like the last 4th page, then you again have to chop it because it's still page 21, and it's not, and it doesn't belong to the last 3 pages, it belongs to the last 4 pages. And that's it. You will learn more in field in the library when you are doing work. So for now, you just have to recognize what chops they are, what they do, and what they're called. And that's it. That's it for this chapter, this 2 chapter. I will see you in the next one.